Listen to your internet now. Are you crazy?
Okay, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to welcome you to the third and final day of our Facility Management Training Giving Back Series 2021 final edition. And today, we're going to be looking at productivity skills for the modern workplace. Today is the day I said everybody should endeavor to attend, no matter the work you do, not just facility managers. So today we're going to learn how to make progress in our careers, how to make progress in our lives, how to make the necessary impact on people, and use our relationship and connection skills to make a better place in the world, make a better workplace. Okay. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at introduction to leadership and people management, communication, writing and presentations. And then we're going to look at getting and keeping your dream FM job. My name is Paul Erubami. I'm a facility manager, certified by IFMA, chartered by the ROICS, the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, and also chartered by the Institute of Workplace and Facility Management, formerly BIFM. For those who don't know, I am also the Vice President of the National Body of Facility Management in Nigeria. I got elected into that position in 2021, and it's a 2-year stint at that role, which just started. And it's really exciting to be at the stage where I can contribute my quota to development of the profession in Nigeria. So far in my career, I have had great opportunities. I have managed facilities for SPDC, Shell, all of the base locations, East and West. As senior lead FM, I've managed facilities for Schlumberger, I've managed facilities for Halliburton, and I've managed facilities for Nokia Solutions and Networks across the continent. And I've also managed facilities for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints across Nigeria. So it's a very broad depth of experience that comes here. Besides my certification, I'm also one of the very few people in the world who are I'm also one of the very few people in the world who can teach all of the FM, all of the facility management certifications. I can teach the IFMA Certified Facility Manager. I can teach the Facility Management Professional. I can also teach the Sustainability Facility Professional credentials, and also the Facility Management Learning System. Caroline, you do me a favor. We need to. I think Haruna shared his link to this panel with too many people, and they will keep coming in and they will keep disrupting this meeting. I don't know how to handle this, but they're clicking back in every second, and I'm embarrassed that this is happening. I need somebody to take care of it for me, please.
Come on in, sir. I think it has stopped.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so let's start with leadership. I think if you see my definition of leadership and the way I approach learning and teaching about leadership, you probably revisit or have to rethink what a leader is to you. Most people would think a leader is the person at the top, the person who has control, the person who can make things happen. In reality, a leader is someone who can plan and see into the future, cast that future vision to others so that they can see that vision and then influence behavior and action towards that, execution of that vision or realization of that vision. In essence, a leader is not someone who governs people. A leader is someone who influences people. So if you are a manager today, you may not be the leader of your team. You might have power to act, to control people. You might have power to manage processes and guide people's actions. But leading is very different, because what you do as a leader makes people do things from within that you don't have control over. So that's influence. But you can't influence people in any direction unless you know exactly the end point of that direction. Okay, so that's what leadership is about. And as facility managers, we don't do anything by ourselves. We work with teams, we work in teams. Every of our function is structured into teams, right? And so getting the work done through others is leadership. And the core of leadership is the ability to communicate at all levels, have good relationships, and be liked by people you come in contact with. And to build this leadership that helps you excel in your FM career, it's not really about what you can tell people to go and do. If you don't do what you say, it's like, I've heard this saying that, if people won't care what you know until they know that you care. Okay, so your words are to match your actions at all times. So to be that leader, to get people to do what they promise, to get people to act in the way that from the bottom of their hearts, they are moving in the direction that you want them to without you having any controlling influence, you must walk the talk and talk the walk. Okay, people easily see true leadership. In fact, you won't be a leader if you don't have integrity. You're always being watched and evaluated. And if you don't mean it, don't say it. I've seen some managers, throw threats around, and people flout instructions, don't follow processes, and still the threats are not executed. So at the end of the day, there's no need talking and saying things you don't intend to do. And whatever you say, you must ensure that you can do it and you will do it. Leadership in facility management is anchored around certain specific activities. And one of them is management by walking around. It's a principle that helps you get connected to everyone in your team. You can show up and see what work is being done. You can resolve concerns when you are around people who are actually working. You can provide more resources. You can understand their challenges. You can encourage them through words of admonition while work is ongoing. Management by walking around also entails that you mingle with your customers, your users. If you sit back in your office all the time, you can't get the slightest hint of what your customers think about you. Imagine being a chef cooking all these nice meals for people in the restaurant and never ever experiencing what the faces they make, what it looks like when they put a scoop of your meal into their mouths. Is it delight? Is it irritation? Is it disappointment? Until you feel that pulse, you can't be that super chef. You'll be pretending to yourself that you're a good chef until you know what the customers feel about your cooking. That's the same thing with facility managers. Management, by walking around, helps you pick up faults, helps you observe what workers are doing, so you will not be deceived when it's time to close out the work order or pay for something, for example. Feel the pulse of your customers. You will not be you'll not be in doubt as to how your customers feel about the service you are rendering to them. But you can't just walk around because you've been taught to walk around and see things. I've actually been challenged by a client once who says, your FMs are everywhere. They're just moving around, but they apparently don't see anything. And just before I could, chip in to say, no, I think they're actually doing the management by walking around, he took me into a toilet where an FM has gone in less than 10, 15 minutes ago, has tick, 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 that everything is in order. A checklist was even in that back of that door, right? Everything is in order. And we went in there and we found things that couldn't have been messed up within 10 minutes. So it's obvious that some things happens that the FM comes in, does the sticking without actually specifically checking everything that should have been checked. Maybe it checks the critical ones that are most obvious. But if you don't have a proper checklist for your walking around, you can walk into a room 10 times and try to observe defects and issues and still miss some things. And then bring a notepad. You have to take notes so you get to be able to assign work, be able to remember what is happening in that space that you're walking around. The second tool for leadership is listening. Your ability to listen will define your leadership. The wise will say, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen more and speak less. But as soon as some of us become managers, supervisors, coordinators, some semblance of authority has been bestowed upon us, we feel it is now our life responsibility or life course to just be talking and talking on people. We teach in and out of season. If you actually spend time to hear what is in the minds of those you work with, you will be better able to influence them. Listen to them and not talk down or talk to. It helps you determine what is important so as to make more informed choices. And then communication has multiple levels. So when we say communicate, some people say, oh, I can talk. See, it's not just enough that you can talk. People must trust what comes out of your mouth. They must trust that if you say, I will be there, I will be there. Now, when you lead, the first thought that comes to your mind is, oh, I can lead my people, they listen to me, they do what I want, everything is working smoothly. But leadership has levels above you and levels below you. Your ability to lead those above you will give you the highest power. It will give you the highest growth and progress in your career. If you still have in your mind today that there is something you know better than your boss, and that your boss should be listening to you, instead of you listening to your boss, you will not grow. That is a fatal mistake that many people make in their career, especially when you think you are technical and your supposed bosses are not that technical. And because of that, you feel that they should listen to you. If you want to rise quickly to the top, you must listen more. If you listen more, provide analysis, data, recommendations that makes the boss's life and work easier. Then they will trust you more and begin to listen more to you. That is the point when you know you are now leading the bosses. They will ask questions to get your opinion of things. But that doesn't happen overnight. If you still argue about knowing better than them, if you still argue about who gets the credit for good ideas that come from your head, because some of us will give a good idea to our boss and we want to claim the credit. We can't even imagine the boss taking credit from the board or from senior management when the idea was from me originally. And then the boss is up there in the stage and not even mentioning my name to share in the limelight. I feel disgruntled. You will never grow. You can never go up if that is the mindset you have. So the mindset of leadership and growth is that you enable your boss to excel. You become the ladder on which the boss climbs to the top. And then you can begin to see that hand reaching back to you to lift you up. There are many discussions being made in several tables that we are not seated on. Our names will pop up in those tables. And in every table of discussion, there's usually one person whose opinion about you is superior. And that person is your boss. That person is your supervisor. If you have been in an antagonistic relationship, be rest assured you're not going anywhere. One very polite statement will just kill your case, and you will not know how far you went. You think you've been fighting for the company all along. Okay? And then I hear some people, give an appointment. I'll be there by 11 o'clock in the morning. And then, they called 5 minutes after 11 to say, oh, I'm having a hold up. I'm on my late. You're already late. You're destroying your reputation if that happens. And many of us think that it is circumstantial, that there are circumstances that can make you not uphold your words. There are none. It's all in your mind. If I have an 8 o'clock appointment and the appointment is in God knows where, I know when I need to leave. If I have to leave a night before and stay in a hotel close to that space so that I will not be late for 8 o'clock, I will do it. That's because I've told myself I can't be late for an appointment. Communicate through influence. Choose your words carefully. If you can't control your tongue, your pen, or your keyboard, then you can't become a leader. Self-control and self-mastery in what you say and do define your leadership potential and capability. Don't think that there's a bridge that you can burn today that you will not need again tomorrow, unless you want to commit suicide. I see some people take up jobs, get to a crescendo, and decide that they want to punish their boss by leaving abruptly and not doing the proper handover. And let me show them that I've been angry for a long time and frustrate the business. I have stories upon stories of people who have burned bridges, only to find out 5 years, 9 years down the line, they need those same bridges for the next thing they need in their life. No matter what the circumstances are, no matter how aggrieved you may feel, do not burn a bridge. You're not God. You don't know how that bridge will come back to be useful for you. As professional facility managers, we manage people, we manage space, we provide resources. We are enablers of the success of everyone around us. Should you be a thermometer or a thermostat? An interesting question, isn't it? What does a thermometer do? It adjusts. If the temperature is high, the thermometer rises. If the temperature is low, the thermometer drops. So when people say things like, it is the system, you can't bring your bright ideas, nobody will listen to you. This system is corrupted. There's really nothing good you can do with this system. You're only playing a thermometer at that time. You're reflecting the operating room temperature. But a thermostat will set the operating room temperature. I'm already hearing you saying, thinking in your mind, so what can I do as a single person? How can I influence a situation where everybody are already in bed together in this terrible culture? How do I make an impact? What can I really do? You start from where you are. You make a difference by doing your job well. You make a difference by being nice to people. You make a difference by bringing value to the organization. You make a difference by doing a lot of analysis and a lot of practicing leadership skills. A time will come when they need someone to do very serious work, very advanced work that will provide the turning point for the organization. They will not see any other place to think about but you because of your focus of professionalism. Because you set yourself as an example for good behavior instead of blending in with bad behavior. Now, this is not to become antagonistic with people who are, unethical or do some of those things in the organization. You can set a good example without fighting people. There are so many people who are having one form of work or the other. I don't have any form of documentation that is generated out of their work. A report, an analysis, a proposal, no form of writing, no documentation. When the day comes and you are asked, what do you even do? You can use your mouth to say, I solve all the problems. But you don't have any log to show that you actually do. If something goes wrong tomorrow and there's an investigation, oh, you didn't teach them this. When you were teaching, did you have a training attendance? The post sign that they were trained? Of course, compliance can become a big issue. Somebody comes to your facility and finds some vermin somewhere and say, oh, they've not met the environmental requirement. Oh, well, we did fumigation. Okay, so let me see your record. Oh, we did this. Oh, let me see your records. Documentation proves that you are doing your job. For some of us, we might be in a situation where we don't even know what kind of documentation we will be required to put together. That's why you need training. There are compliance documentation, there are quality documentation, there are additional processes documentation. You need to get trained so you know what to put. The funny part is that most employers of facility managers are in their core business. Facility management is not what they do. You are the facility manager. They expect that you know what kind of documentation to put together. So if you go into an insurance company and you are the FM for the insurance company, you won't see any form of templates or reporting formats or anything. You probably find something like a diesel log because they are concerned that diesel is being stolen by the FM team. So they'll say, please record every hour and how many liters of diesel you consume. And then maybe you always ask for money for this and money for that. They'll say, okay, you know what? Have this report where you are reporting all the things you have repaired and all the parts you have changed so that we can be able to compare when the next time you ask for money, right? They will give you reactive things. That's what bothers them. And if you like, sit down to it, fill your logbook, fill your store inventory, and then complete your repair list of spare parts and say you've done your FM work. You're just wasting your time. you need to have a structured documentation processes. Management will begin to see your professionalism because they will see that you are able to do things that they don't know, they never asked you to do. Your reports, your accomplishments, challenges, milestones, your plans. So many things go into this reporting. I've talked about your boss. You cannot be better than your boss. I don't know how to express this strongly enough, but too many careers have been wasted because of this rivalry between one person and his boss. And if you think the boss above your boss likes you, you're deceiving yourself. The boss above your boss will listen to your boss first. And if the boss above your boss is doing divide and rule, you'll ruin your career faster because he will make you feel he loves you more than your boss. But for some strange reasons which you don't know, your boss remains there. Why you think the boss above your boss loves you more than your boss and your boss stays there for years. That should get you thinking that you're being stupid, isn't it? But that's the reality of leadership. You must influence the boss. You must ensure that the boss is successful and don't play boss wars in your organization. That's the kind of politics we encourage, okay? If you think you are doing well, ask your boss how you are doing. If he says you are doing well, fine. If your boss is not doing well, you cannot be happy with what you are doing because you are supposed to be the enabler of the success of your boss. So you must lead and help your boss to succeed. So that's the first part of our lesson. We don't pay a lot of attention to the writing that we do in our organizations. But if you want to succeed on a job, you must understand how to write well. I read a lot of emails. They're casually written. And because we have taken test speak from WhatsApp and SMSs to heart, we now use them in formal, official emails. And sometimes it goes out of the email into memos and other things that we write. So I'm going to give you 5 keys to effective writing. Put the reader first. Your communication is for understanding. Write to express, not to impress. Many of us use words that is supposed to impress, that with no grammar. Use words that readers can picture. Tie into the reader's experience. Always ask what's in it for me, for that reader. Somebody should be interested in what you are writing so that you can read it. Key number 2, use simple words and short sentences. I'll take only this first example. Per our conversation, I'm enclosing herewith a remittance of 25,000 for the balance due on my account. 18 words. To make that better, as we discussed, here's 25K remaining on my account. 11 words. To make it better, here is the 25,000 remaining on my account. That's exactly what you want to express. Why choose 18 words when you can use 8 words? Interesting, isn't it? Key number 3, use jargon only when necessary. A jargon is a particular kind of word or acronym or abbreviation or something that is only known within a certain domain. Okay, so when somebody says GPS, DME, ST7000, for example, there are certain people that know what that means within that domain, within that profession. When you are writing, especially when there is a chance that a senior manager or a senior leader is going to be reading it and may not be familiar with those jargons, don't try to test people. They'll just ignore your writing. They'll just ignore your writing. Number 4, write with verbs and nouns. Choose the right verb and the right noun. Mr. Johnson ran quickly across the 4-lane street. almost falling down when he stepped in a large hole in the concrete. Sir Johnson sprinted across the boulevard, stumbling when he stepped in a pothole. As simple as you can put it. Use the active voice. The active voice expresses who is talking. We've seen so many, there are some people that are just used to writing passively. When tests were run, it was discovered that good wear is not exhibited by the new material. Tests were run by who? Insurance is sold by the company. Instead of saying the company sells insurance, use verbs and nouns, we say. So these are word structures that we learned in primary school and some bit of it in secondary school. But many of us have advanced to grammatical, how would I put it, levels that we want to now impress, that will now lose the basic skills we learned and will now begin to model up our writing. Key number 5, format document to improve readability. I've seen people write very intelligent write-ups and an entire page is a single paragraph. Just write and write and write and write. Everything is molded together. As soon as I look at that page, I can't really skim. I can't get a quick idea as a leader, as a boss, or a manager. You might lose opportunity to express. So use lists, bullets, charts, tables, indents, italics, bolds, headings, and subheadings. Don't be scared to have white spaces in what you write. About the office email, it could be informal and impersonal. Sometimes it's better to talk than to write that email, especially when you're emotional or when you want to express something irrational. Be very careful about putting it in email. Don't forget that the email server and everything that's written inside the email does not belong to you. You can't take it away when you're leaving the company. It belongs to the organization. So off-color, pornographic, even if you just say it's a joke, don't try it with email, especially office email. And then for those of you who think, no matter how I spell it, after I'm not an English expert, the people who are reading it should understand what they're saying. It gives an impression that you're not a detailed person. It gives an impression that you're not competent, even if you are technically sound. So spell check, edit, proofread. And then all the addressing of an email. How do you address an email? To CC, which is copy, and the BCC, which is a blind copy. You put anybody you want to see the email and directly respond in the to field. If there are multiple people in to, it means that all of them can respond. But those who are in CC are supposed to see just for their information. But blind copying is mainly to be used when you are sending to multiple people and you don't want to share their identity with each other. Because if you do to and CC, everybody that receives that email see everybody in to and CC, but they will not see anybody in BCC. They'll see only themselves, right? But what do we do with this in our offices? We use it as a tool for managing other things. Like we blind copy someone just so that the person can see it, even though the person is not a partaker of that conversation. If that person by any chance replies, everybody in to and CC will receive this reply. And the question will now be, how come he was put in blind copy? Punctuation. Sometimes we use punctuations and we just think, it doesn't matter. A colon means note what follows. Apostrophe shows belonging and indicate the omission of letters in a word. And semicolon is used to link independent clauses. When you write for management to review, you might have a very long message, but that long message will not be read. Senior management will want to have an executive summary, which expresses concise facts, items summarized from the entire document. It is always in front, but it is written last, so that anybody looking at the executive summary has gotten a glimpse of what the entire document is saying. So it can't be too long. Most people say executive summary should not be more than 2 pages. If the document you are trying to create a summary for is very wordy, maybe the whole research, many years and months of analysis, and you can't do it in 2 pages. You can do more than 2 pages, but be careful not to make it too lengthy and that they cannot read it. And be clear on what you are presenting. Purpose, the scope, the conclusions, results, and recommendations of whatever you are writing about. Some guidelines for executive summaries: no new information, use traditional words and phrases, follow up position of documents, do not refer to documents, tables, figures, appendices, references, and other explanatory materials inside the document. Just talk about them on their own. Some other writing that you do in the organization, meeting agendas. I've seen too many meetings that are not planned. People come into a meeting and they throw words in every direction, and the meeting ends up achieving nothing. Especially if you are the type that talk without timing. The worst part of many meetings that I've been part of is people coming to the meeting to say, oh, I forgot I didn't prepare this. Oh, I didn't check my computer to know that information. Well, I'll find out later. You're wasting everybody's time. I was actually invited to a client's office once, and he was the boss. He invited his colleagues or subordinates to come to see that presentation. And when he was creating that appointment, he didn't send them an agenda or an introduction of what they will be coming to do. One of the very young subordinates replied, "What is this meeting about? And what should I come prepared with?" I was very impressed. If you sit in a meeting for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and the information being distributed is not useful to you, and you didn't come with anything that you can give that is useful to others, you've just wasted your time and your company's time. Or you come to a meeting and start asking, what are we even talking about today? You didn't know it before you came. And for some of us, we'll go and have what they call AOB. The objects in our mind to bring to the meeting, we will not contribute it so that you can put it into the meeting agenda. We will now say, we are having it in AOB. I don't do AOBs. AOBs usually enable someone to bring an agenda he's the only one that has processed thoroughly. The rest of us will be taken by surprise, and the conclusion can be reached that we are not in support of, but the person who has brought the so-called AOB will have his way because he's the one that figured it out. So if I send an agenda out and you have any other business you want to come into the agenda, drop it back for me so I can amend the agenda and send it back to everybody. Okay? And then your meetings should not run forever. Your meeting should not run forever. Your meeting should have a time to start and a time to end. I've seen meetings where you schedule, oh, the meeting is going to be 12 o'clock. 12 to what, ladies and gentlemen? 12 to infinity? Bad practice. If the meeting is going to be 45 minutes, say it is 12 to 12:45. And the agenda is item 1, 12 o'clock to 12:10, 12:10 to 12:25, 12:25 to 12:35, 12:35 to 12:45, the meeting has ended. That way, all of us becomes monitors and controllers of the meeting at the same time. So don't waste our time. Sometimes you're asked to write letters, marketing and sales letters, letters to regulatory authorities, letters to contractors, letters to customers. A formal letter has a formal structure. And I'm not going to spend time on this, but it's important that you don't write letters that looks as if you did not go to school at all. If you're writing proposals that go out to organizations, proposals also have to have a structure. Company overview, statement of the problem, client's problem, potential client's problem, background and benefits, scope of services and deliverables, contact details and references. Okay, just a simple way to organize your thoughts so you can sell your organization to that other party. And business cases. Business cases usually are used within organizations to get approval to get things done. Sometimes business cases are written and integrated into a proposal for an external organization to consider and approve. State the background of the problem and opportunity, problems encountered, options considered, solutions selected, and the expected cost, and beyond cost, whatever risk is expected or can be anticipated needs to be written down. Facility managers write reports. For most of our reports, they will just be a template where you put in some numbers, you've done some tests, you put it there. But in many instances, you need to actually have an annual report, a monthly report, something that describes progress, challenges, achievements, constraints over time. What about training manuals? There should be training manuals. I hear people say we've trained. Where are the training manuals, right? Training manuals actually help to prove that you have a content and they have delivered that content to your staff, and they have a reference for that training that they can get back to. Handbooks. You want to be able to show in writing how things are done in your organization. You want to be able to guide people. You want to create reference documentation. Writing handbooks is the same as writing any other document. You're basically trying to put something that most of all of us know into a document format. What else could be a technical proposal, cost, sales, a professional service proposal? All of them follow the same writing rules. And I hear people all the time call me up to say, oh, well, I want to write this. Can you give me a template? We use the word template all the time to sound like it wasn't created by someone for a particular purpose, that your purpose is already out, in somebody's head. Because everyone who writes knows why he's writing and what he's writing about. If you take that writing and you want to follow it as a guide, it's these outlines that we're talking about in class that you should look for, not that person's writing, which is proprietary to that person's proposal or whatever pitch. Okay, you can get ideas from other people's writing, but you can't carry it hook, line, and sinker. That's what is called plagiarism, right? And then your cases and your proposals must have proper conclusions. Everybody must know what this thought or this idea is that you're trying to express in a paragraph or at the end of your writing. The final package: use quality paper if you have to use physical paper, bind properly, and if it's an electronic document, save as PDF, you DocuSign, those that require electronic signature, password, those that are sensitive. You can password an electronic document, and it would not just be available to anybody out there. So at this point in our webinar, I'll let you know that The other parts include very significant soft skills that you will learn, but I would like to take a minute to introduce and remind us of the facility management Mastercraft diploma that's starting in January. On January 10th, we explained that it has a physical class, which we run every Saturday 10 to 4, and it will have a virtual class that we run Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 5 to 7 in the evening, so that everybody can participate. There's no excuse of time. You will close from work and you join the class, or you will come on Saturday and you will have a physical class. Okay, the modules to be covered, I've taken time in each of these lessons to just show it to you and express to you how broad and how deep these lessons can be. For some of them, you will basically be introduced into a whole new world of business opportunities, career opportunities. For some, you will need to research more to expand your scope in being able to deliver excellently in that area. And too many of these courses will come to you as surprise. Best practice after best practice will be dropped in every class. And you'll be amazed how much you're going to learn in just 3 months. I hear some concerns about the economy and the cost of the training, but our training have remained in this price since early 2017. We have not made any adjustment. $265K for tuition, $75 for registration for the virtual class. This is the first time we're going to have a two-pronged approach where we have a physical class holding every Saturday. That's a little bit more expensive, just about $35,000 more expensive, mainly because if you're going to be in a physical class for 6 hours, there will be a lot of expenses that will also go with it. Of course, there'll be refreshments and there will be other things that will come with such a class. So those of us who are taking the physical class, let's understand why it has that little bit of higher price than the virtual one. Okay. Of course, again, you're going to pay transport to come to the physical class, but there are a lot of things you can do in a physical class that you may feel a bit constrained to do in a virtual class. So the option is entirely yours. The flexibility of the virtual class and the lifelike interaction that happens in the virtual class is just phenomenal. Okay, so for those of us who enjoy that flexibility, we also have videos of all the classes that you have access to. You will all do the same assessments, whether it's physical or virtual. You will all do the same exam. You all do the same projects. You all go to the same field trips. It's just like one class with 2 mode of delivery. Okay, and for this program, we have decided to give a 10% early bird discount, which means on your own, deduct 10%, 30,000 if you're in the physical class, or 26,500 if you're in the virtual class, and pay the difference into the account and you're fully in. We also know that not everybody will be able to pay the money at once. People, still prioritize Christmas spending and recreation over, uplifting career opportunities, and may decide to, split it into 2 and pay part of it now, and then when the class has started, pay the other. It's fine. It's fine. But the thing is, you can't get both. You can't get a discount when you're taking the installment. They are both independent incentives. Okay. We also have short courses that picks a few of these modules here and there, but we prefer that people who have very strong experience, many years of work in the built environment, are the ones the short courses will be suitable for. So you want to take a course in strategy, for example. That course will have design build commissioning, will have what else again? The course will have quality management, will have financial management, will have managing contracts, FM contract, will have business case, and so on and so forth. You take a course in maintenance, you have maintenance record, maintenance strategies, you have modules from health and safety, electrical maintenance, AC maintenance. You take a course in, that's how that works. Workplace productivity, you have selections of courses, in addition to a few other modules that make up those short courses, right? But if you are making an inroad into FM, or you have been an FM, but you've not really gone through any formal qualification process, we recommend the full program, the comprehensive program, right? And again, if you decide to take them in short courses, by the time you take FMM, FMP, you're already, rather FPM, that's project management and facility management maintenance. You've covered the cost of taking the whole mastercraft diploma that contains everything, including operations, maintenance, operations, health and safety, as well as strategy and the masterclass. So there are about 6 or 7 that you will have to take one by one, and that will cost you about 4 times the cost of taking the FM diploma that's comprehensive and all-inclusive. I have some of the panelists here. I think I'm seeing only Akin Ayeni. I was expecting to see Anayo Ambua and I think it's Coyote. Okay, so let's see if you can, admin, if you can see any of those that are panelists that probably clicked on the attendee link instead of using their panelist link. Can you please scan through and promote them? Otherwise, we'll just have Mr. Engineer Akin Ayeni address us and we'll move on. Okay, yes, there's a survey after that. So Akin, please go ahead. You can unmute.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for this opportunity for me. So good evening, everybody in the class.
You're welcome.
I want to say welcome to Facility Management League. You are very lucky to be here. Well, let me just give you a brief history of myself. I came in contact with Mr. Paul Erubamo on social media. I got to know about this free training on social media. I actually attended the physical one at Yaba campus, Unilag campus. So, but Mr. Erubamo will have forgotten that, but we met there. I was interested then, but no, my interest was not so keen, and was considering financial constraint or whatever. But with time, as God will have it, and I wanted to change job, actually, because I was fully into technical fields. I wanted to change job. I was looking for a way, but when I come in contact with Mr. Erubamo, I now know, and I attended the class, the free class, as you had, but the physical one. So I developed interest in it. So I wanted to change it to FM. So I have to, when I changed job, actually, and as God will have it, I got an employment in a facility management firm. So that gives me the opportunity to say, okay, I must train with Mr. Erubamo. So and Mr. Erubamo has been a wonderful person. He gave us the door was open then. He gave us the opportunity to pay on installment. So immediately I have to grab it immediately. So I've grabbed the opportunity and I enroll as in this master class. And in fact, every bit of the classes were wonderful, were fantastic. We have instructors that are fantabulous, experience in their fields, respective fields. And Mr. Erubamo has been so helpful. He is not a person that when you don't know anything, you draw him back, he will not know. If we don't know anything, come back, he will always repeat what he has said and explain better. I want to recommend every one of you, young people that are ready to join the league, please endeavor, try as much as possible. Even if it means you have to go and go borrow money, it's worth it. It's worth it. I want to tell you, it's worth it. This training will broaden your knowledge. It will give you edge over others. And I want to tell you, I only spent 2 years where I was. I have an opportunity for interview experience. because of what Mr. Rubami has taught us, because of this class that I've attended, I know I was given better opportunity, a better position. Even I got a job, and another one after I've resumed. Is Mr. Rubami said I should not go there. It's not too good for me to go to leave because I have a job somewhere as a facility manager while I was a supervisor in the. You know, you can see the gap, supervisor and facility manager. Now, again, somebody interviewed me, and when I mentioned that I trained with Mr. Max-Migold, immediately they sent me FM, but they changed it immediately to lead FM. But thank God, anything I want to do, I always consult Mr. Rubami for advice and counseling. So he advised me not to move, but it is too early because I just paid nearly 2 months. It's just too good. Even if the position is better than here, I should don't wait a little and be patient. So it has been wonderful. It has been wonderful. And I want to tell you what you will have with Mr. Rubami, you can have with other trainers outside, the trainers outside there. If you have any problem, call Mr. Rubami at any point in time. He will answer you. He will give you a leading instruction, a leading counsel, a leading advice that will give you solution to your problem. Anytime, every time I used to disturb him so much. Even I want to tell you, he has visited my site. He has visited my site. You can see how wonderful he is. It's not the person that will just train you and leave you on your own. He will lead you through. He will see you through. It's ever with you. I want to encourage every one of you. Let's get ourselves registered. Even if it means you go and borrow money, it's worth it. You can GTB borrow money and you pay over 1 year. I want to encourage all of you. It is wonderful training with Mr. Rubami. And I assure you, I want to assure you that if you train here, you will never regret it. You will be glad you did. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I always get excited when I see people who have made that move, who have made that effort. He didn't have money. He just moved like a leap of faith. And within 2 years, he was beginning to sort through offers. Which one should I take? Which one should I not take? Whereas many of us think, worry, consider the money, and we go for interview to interview, and we're not even being called for offers. There was somebody in an earlier class who became the head of FM for a merchant bank just after a few sessions. She was less than 1.5 months into the training. So the essence of learning these things is to see that you make an impact. No employer wants to employ someone that they are worried and considering whether the person knows what's important to the business. And that's what we change. Many of us in our employment don't know what's important to our employers. We just feel that we are doing our best to serve, right? But if you know what's important to the business, you will strike the right chord. From interview to delivery, you will just be excellent. I have none who have gone through this program, almost 300 in the last few years, that have not received at least 1 or 2 offers in less than 2-3 years. So that's the kind of things we're talking about. People call you up just because they know you're doing something good and you're moving. So whether you're an engineer, a QS, an architect, you studied education, sociology, anything, you have an OND, HND with some experience, if you're passionate about facility management, if you care about people, if you want to deliver results and value to people, this is an opportunity you don't want to miss. So thank you very much, Engineer Akin Ayeni. And many engineers are stuck in the ruts. They are stuck at the shop floor as specialists doing generator, doing AC, doing this and that. They don't know how to elevate themselves. This is the opportunity. Don't miss it. I'm going to bring Madam Caroline on now. We have a survey. We have about, quite a good number of us on the call this evening. She's going to administer that, and we're going to take a survey. As you respond to the survey, I am having a special offer that I'm going to give to all those who have participated in this webinar. A special offer towards the FM Mastercraft, and I'll announce that after the survey. Caroline, please. Caroline, are you there? Okay. I believe you've all seen it's a very simple survey, a simple poll. Kindly respond to it now. That's the break we are having. Thank you. The poll is still running. We want everybody to respond.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Anayo and Ibukun want to give testimony, but they are using the same link, Abdul Qudus Mohammed, because they did not register. So you can see them on the panelists. You can call them to give the testimony.
Okay, so let's hear from Anayo first. Anayo, go on. While the poll is ongoing, you can speak now, please.
No, I give this guy money.
Anayo, you're on now. You're live. You can unmute and speak now. Apart from Anayo, who else is there, please?
Ibukum is there, sir.
Okay, Ibukum, please go ahead. Thank you. Unmute.
All right. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
You're welcome.
It's good to be here. So thank you for this opportunity. I do not take it for granted. Yes, I just want to share my experience so far, coming in contact with the training, facility management mastercraft diploma, and how my journey has been so far in FM. Okay, so I'm Ibukun Akoni by name. I'm presently the facilities manager with CBRA Accelerate Nigeria, managing one of the company's client's property at Ikoyi, Lagos. Okay, so it's been really impactful being a part of facility management mastercraft diploma. I must say, initially I was a bit skeptical, not because I was not sure that I was going to get something quality, but the level to which I was going to get it, I didn't know. So I remember that I was going to engage. I usually try and engage Mr. Paul to know, oh, maybe I can hold on a little bit. I was trying to finish up my program at Unilag and a few other things here and there. I felt, okay, let me just push a little bit. But for some reason, I just felt, let me take this shot. Why delay? Because first, I wanted to, number one, I wanted to change job. Really, that's one of the things that was like the motivation for me. I must say, not really because my former employer was bad, but sometimes you just feel it's time for you to move on. You want bigger challenges. You want to, yes, you want to explore for better opportunities. I wanted a more environment that will allow me to be a better professional. A better professional in FM, so to speak. So I opted for it, and I must say I got that opportunity. Where I am presently is not where I was as at the time I had the training. Okay, with salary increase of about 75%. Coming to the new organization. So it's but not only that, I must say if FMMC diploma made me get the training. Let me put it that way. Made me get the rudiments of FM. Prior to that, I had an engineering background. I studied civil engineering, and I started my career as a site manager assistant site manager, so to speak. Then gradually I moved into FM. But really, I didn't have the knowledge of what FM was. You know, just doing a little bit of try and error and a few things I would learn from people, right? But the rudiments, the foundation, you know, that I needed, you know, talking about for example, the asset register, facility condition assessment, emergency preparedness, maintenance plan, and all of that. I had a little bit of knowledge here and there, you know, but not the depth and the understanding was not there, you know, until I, became a part of the training, and I got that really. Even my project is even still ongoing, you know, because I've had, like I said, I was trying to finish up my program at Union and a few other things. But then the 3 months of the classes, you know, that we had for the FMMC training, I ensured I was available, and I thank God I was able to meet up with all the classes, you know, and even all the assessments that were given, and I did well in the exam, and really it's really has given me a leap in my career, you know. So I'm in a new place now with bigger challenges, I must say, just like I was wishing for. So, but it's of course, challenges don't kill; they make you a better person. So, even right now, I'm still at work also. So, yeah. So that's what I would say. And so, whoever is trying to maybe look forward to this training, I'll be skeptical. Mr. Paul, I know some people are asking some questions. Maybe so probably there's a way they can get answers to their questions before you close out, or maybe you refer them to someone. It will be good. So I also had lots of questions. So please, it will be good for them to have answers. And then so they'll know that, yes, it's worth the while. You know, the training is really, really worth the while. So I will say, if you don't have no reason, if you have anything you want to delay, I will encourage you not to delay. That the earlier you do it, the better for your career, really. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bukum. You're always appreciated. Do we have Anayo on now? Before Anayo comes on,
yes, so
I will not take the survey, the poll. Please, if you've not taken the poll, it's still on. It's not closing. By the time Anayo finishes his contribution to the panel, the poll will close afterwards. But for now, it's still open. So please complete the poll. There's a big announcement coming after Anayo's comments. Thank you. Anaya, please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Can you all hear me?
Yes, your audio is good.
Can you see me?
Yes, I see you.
I like the way people announce me. It's doing my head bam 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 bam. I'm telling you, as in, hey, okay, Mr. Paul.
Yes.
Long time, oh.
Yes, sir.
Can you see me, please? Can you confirm that you can see me?
Yes, we see you. Yes, your audio is good. Your video is also good.
Okay, thank you. I have to hide because work no dey finish for facility. Okay, so good evening all. I hope you all enjoyed the training. So please, I don't know what to say. Is it testimony or improvement? I don't know, Mr. Paul. Everyone have been sharing testimony. My testimony is 15 pages. So
just tell us some important things you have deployed since you finished this program.
Okay, well, a whole lot. I cannot really share my joy because I got one of the dream job I've been looking for, to work in an organization as big as this. At least there's a leap of faith, or will I say there's a step of improvement. At least I've left that level of whereby I report to senior managers and multiple of the FM managers, to the level whereby I am now the manager and I give feedback to the C-suites, and it's lovely. And I'm still looking up to the highest and the greater post. This wouldn't have been possible if I had not had that great knowledge from Max-Migold. Max-Migold will come in and give it to you as simple as it is. It's not left for you to transform what you've learned into action and then better your future and your profession. After this training, or with the help of this training, I was attending interviews. I wasn't getting the best of jobs. I was still attending interviews. Anything I learned from the webinar, from the free, I mean, what do they call that? This thing, free session, right? The name people used to call it, Mr. Paul.
Giving back series.
Giving back series. Anything I learned from there, I'll practice it. I'll go to interview. I'll go and demonstrate it there. I'll go to interview and demonstrate it there. I can remember when I went to CAS 45. I was supposed to be the regional manager, managing over 20 of their centers. They asked me one particular question there. I can remember, I won't forget, because that question made me lose that job. How can you, the manager is about to have a meeting in this hall and the AC is not coming up. What can you do to ensure that this AC works while they're in this meeting? I went blank. Nothing. Oh my God, I was a shadow of myself then. Ah, God. I said, what can I do? I'm not attending the training then. I said, okay, I came back. I learned a lot. And look at me today. AC is not working. I already know why it's not working. The ABS is misbehaving. Please bypass this thing and beg and let this thing work immediately. If it still does not work, I know what to do. You know, I know those routine checks to do. You know, my own personal checks to do before I can call in a technician to come and say, okay, I hope you all can still hear me.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, before I can call in a technician to come and say, okay, technician don't come in and tell me what's wrong with my facility. I tell the technician what is wrong, and then we find solution. They don't come and dictate. I tell them what is wrong, I analyze it for them, and that is how it is. Because being a technical know-how FM pays a lot, and you will learn all this from the program. A whole lot. Look at me today doing asset register, doing emergency preparedness plan, doing PPM. Just imagine it. These are things that were foreign to me many years ago, or a few years back. But today we can all do it. All thanks to Max-Migold, because even their tools, even their materials are still yours. You can still go over them again and again and again. And if you're a good note taker, you will notice that Mr. Paul says 200% away from what is in the manual. So if you don't listen to him attentively, you miss a whole lot. So you see those classes are always sitting down in front. He knows me now. Always sitting down in front to hear every word that comes out from his mouth, and I document it. And that has made me a better person today. Trust me, if you're still thinking of getting into Max-Migold Mastercraft Plan, forget it. Because, okay, Mr. Paul, let me just share this testimony before I round up. I can remember what you told me. I think that was the 5th giving back series. And for you to attend 5th giving back series, that means he does like 3 in a year, 3 to 4 in a year. So for you to have attended up to 5, that means you're already a part-time student without you knowing of Max-Migold. So that is a year and a half. I was attending this back to back. I wish I can show you my notes. I still refer it because I was writing my project. I still have to refer back to that note. Give you the wisdom you gave during those giving back. I documented it. How to go back to go and learn. So on the 5th class, he came to me and said, guy, are you not tired of attending this thing? He has to speak to me. He told me that he has to talk to me after the session. Are you not tired of attending this thing? Save up money and attend this thing. And no, that's what he told me, and I took the word. How the money came, how I saved up to attend this program is I don't know. And he's always lenient with people. He knows that people are hungry for knowledge, but no resources. But you need to show that willing capacity for him to understand. How I paid up that money, how I cleared everything, I don't know. But here am I today, enjoying the fruits of that labor. I believe people saw my video they posted, how I went from negotiating my current salary to twice. As in, I had the confidence to turn down their offer. Oh God, this is not what I want. This is what I want. They called me back and said, okay, we're giving you this. Twice my former salary. Yeah. Twice. You know, when Mr. Paul was telling me then that when you want to grow in your career, you not go from 50,000 to 70,000. No, you jump. So I was going from that 50,000 to 70,000 to 80,000. I will just manage it. Because I know there are days of little beginning. You understand? I'm in the class. You understand? There's a days of little beginning. You get? But look at me today. From 100% to the next 100%. And it has been increased again. I didn't say that one, but I don't want to let people think. It has increased again. It has increased again.
Fantastic.
You understand? It has been increased again. And I really thank God for everything. So, Mr. Paul, I don't know if there are questions. Let me help you answer them so that you don't stress yourself.
No problem.
Let know that we are alumni. We are serious alumni. We are rooting for Max-Migold any day, anytime.
And that's something that And that's something I need to highlight. Just this morning on the alumni platform, I was, somebody dropped a problem. I think it was Anayo that dropped a generator issue. And I saw the robust conversation. You know, you think you have trained and you're not going anywhere. All your problems in the future can be resolved by that network that you have built. I was just watching. I never made a single comment. A few days ago, or a few weeks ago, there was this other issue, and I saw Akin Ayeni, just bombarding people with good best practices, and I was so impressed. That's the power of network of people who have learned, they're further researching, and they're sharing best practice in their platform. You can't miss this. So thank you so much, Anayo. For those who have not taken the poll, it is up again. Please take it. It's important that everybody takes the poll. Now to the big announcement before I go into the final part of this class. I always like to take away the money issue, right? So I'm going to give you an offer you can't resist. In the next 1 week from today, write the hour, the minutes down. In the next 1 week from today, anyone that pays in 200,000 for the Mastercraft program, whether physical or virtual, is 100%. Please, I will repeat it one more time. Anybody that pays 200,000 in the next 1 week has paid in full for this program. Now, every other person that cannot raise 200,000 in this 1 week, pay at least 100,000 Naira and lock in your total fees to 250. So whether it is virtual or physical, as far as you are registered for this webinar, you are entitled to pay 100,000 deposits in the next 1 week and pay 150 spread out into the end of January, okay? But anyone that pays 200 has been paid in full. I need this documented and noted by everybody and this announcement should be shared with people you've talked to, that you have discussed about the FM Mastercraft program and diploma, and let them all know that a massive award has just happened. 200,000 flats within the next 1 week. 100,000 now and 150 balance spread out till the end of January. That is the big announcement I have for you. So thank you so much. Thank you, Ibukun. Thank you, Anayo, and thank you.
Mr. Paul, can we repeat our class? Can we repeat our class? I was looking for this offer. I did not see it. During our time, can we repeat our class, please?
The good thing we also provide is that alumni members who wants to attend class, if you want to attend class and you want to like a refresher program for yourself, we don't take a new tuition. You just pay a 25,000. In fact, the 25,000 is even for those who didn't clear their original certificates and the rest. Anybody who has completed the program, done project, got certificates, and done graduation is free to attend any class. So we provide that as a value to our alumni. So don't think you've taken one thing and then that's the end. No, the future is up and it's bright, and we make it open so you can continue networking. So thank you very much. I've seen the poll so far. We have at least not less than 150 to 160 who have expressed interest. All of you have this offer. All those who have registered for this webinar who could not attend also have this offer. All those who are interested in this program also have this offer. So it's an open offer. Take it within 1 week, and let's see how we can move our careers forward in 2022. So thank you very much. I'm going to get straight into the remaining part of the lesson. Soft skills you need. Soft skills you need. What are soft skills? They are personal attributes that allows us to effectively relate to others. Full stop. They enhance our personal interactions and lead to greater job performance and satisfaction. So, empathy, confidence, networking, communication are critical soft skills that you need to be able to excel and succeed as facility manager and in any career of your choice, of whatever endeavor you find yourself. Empathy and emotional intelligence. You need to be self-aware. Many of us make impact on people that we don't realize we are making such impact. Look at yourself in the mirror. Do different things to kind of feel a sense of yourself. Be conscious of people around you. Not just in the physical sense, but also in the social and psychological sense. How is your behavior affecting people? What are you doing that makes people behave in a certain way? Why are certain people reacting to you in a certain way? Who do you know that doesn't like you? What is the problem that makes the person not like you? You may already have in your mind what you think is the person's issues for not liking you. But I'm here to tell you that if one person doesn't like you or doesn't want to work with you, you have something to do to yourself. You have something to do on yourself. You need to improve. You don't have to banter or pander to people, right? But the bottom line is you must first ask that question. Could it be me? Could it be something I do? Could it be something the way I express myself? Think about that as a thought. How do you do your job? Professionalism, we talk about it all the time. I'm a professional this and professional that. Professionalism means that you are always doing things correctly, ethically, and morally. You report to work on time, you speak clearly and politely to your customers and everybody around you. You strive to meet standards. You strive to meet high standards. If you are the type that meets a challenge and you give up at the slightest opportunity, oh, this thing is difficult. Oh, somebody else knows how to do this. It's not my kind of work. Then you cannot be you cannot be showing professionalism. Okay. And then we talked about communication a lot. It is the most important skill. It is the most important skill in life. Messages are exchanged between one mind and another mind. But between one mind and another mind, the medium of expression, writing, verbal, paraverbal, non-verbal, and then noise, interaction, and then the mode of interpretation in the other mind. First the reception and then the interpretation. If I communicate and you get a wrong meaning out of what I'm trying to tell you, I have something to change. Always point fingers to yourself. Don't say you are misrepresenting or misunderstanding me. No. Say, how can I change or adapt or adjust the way I express myself so that people can understand me better? We talked about listening. Listening is not as easy as you imagine, especially this active listening. I'm not even going to talk about empathetic listening because empathetic listening is at a level where you have to give up yourself, completely ignore yourself, and put yourself in the shoes of the other person, which is very difficult. But active listening, at the least, means that you have suspended all thinking. And you are not only trying to understand what the person is saying. How do you know you're actively listening? One, you are rephrasing what you heard. Two, you're asking clarification questions. And three, you are restating your final understanding. If somebody asks you, if you tell somebody something and the person says, okay, if I understand you right, this is what you said, and you have any reason to add more explanation, then you didn't communicate right the first time. And then you can't build relationship when people see you as two-faced. Openness and honesty. See, it doesn't hurt to be open and honest. We all have weaknesses. We all have things we really want to hide. When it comes to work, ladies and gentlemen, don't be piecemeal in the way you relate with people. Be open, build relationship that make people feel that you have a sense of trust and connection with them. Be transparent. People will often sense this honesty. We talk about teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. Every team that is formed has a goal to achieve. And every team member in that team must have that goal as their personal goal, provided they are still working in that team. The second objective that must come out of teamwork is that everybody that works together as a team must maintain a connection, must maintain a relationship. Because if that is not done and you are working in an environment of acrimony or mistrust or discontent, you can't achieve your goal as a team. You work in an organization, understand the entire process. It's called system thinking. Many people come into a job, they are told, do this to this. And that's all they do. They don't know how the inputs that come to them, and they don't know how their own inputs affect the next output, rather affect the next person's input. And they don't see the big picture of how their own piece of the puzzle fits into the overall painting that makes up the productivity of that organization. If you are like that, you will remain at the bottom. And when they are tired of you, they will kick you out. You have a task to perform. Where are the inputs coming from? Be concerned about that input. Remind people at that level. Have you guys started tallying your count for so and so reading? Okay, that's good, that's good. You guys are still here. Something like that needs to be happening by now. You are prompting them because you know that their output is going to affect your input. The person that is going to use your output, you must be thinking. Some of us will have 3 or 4 tasks to perform. And out of those 3 or 4 tasks, there is one that is going to become an input for another person's work. We'll prioritize that one last. I will do the first 3 first. That's wicked. Prioritize the one that will give the next person a head start. Because you are not competing with each other when you are all part of one system. The final result, the final output is an overall success for the organization. Don't be isolated. Okay? Know what to expect from others and build collaborative relationships. They will encounter problems. I hear some people at work say things like, I've not done that before. If I hear that from you, it means you are not serious. It means you don't really want to grow. You've not done it before. Yes, even me, there was the first time I did it. So when I ask you to go and do it now, you either go and find how to do it or try to a certain extent and come back with, sir, how can you help me with this? At that point, I know that you want to. There will be problems on your way. You must find ways to resolve issues with work. Many of us are used to find the problem, dump it on the colleague. Hey, Esther, please help me come and do this thing in Excel. My dear, there's YouTube. Search for the solution in Excel. It's free. Knowledge is free. Don't bother the one who has learned it before to come and use that his or her time to come and solve it for you. Build yourself. That person, if he's nice or she is nice and comes to solve it for you, is not doing you any good. Because at some point, you become dependent. And when that person is not around, your report does not come in. You may end up being fired. You must be able to manage your time. You know, we all have the same 24 hours. And we all have to sleep at least, 5 to 8 hours or some of that, and spend time on our personal life and grooming and the rest. And then we'll work for some 8 to 12 hours every day. What are you doing with your time? Can you keep a log of what you are doing with your time? Schedule to break things up so you don't feel overwhelmed. I have so many tasks I perform in little buckets. So I'll do this work to a certain time. I don't try to deliver something big once. I'll do it to a certain time. For example, I'm gathering materials, I'm dumping them somewhere. That's it. The next one I'm refining. The next one I'm tidying up. The next one I'm just filling a form or a template, and so on and so forth. Just piece your work in such a way that you are always coming back to do them. And prioritize. Prioritize. So I mean, what is most important, allocate resources for the most important, and this is key when working with others. And this is why I say the thing that you need to deliver to others to start their own, you should not delay it. Don't leave it to procrastination or student syndrome. I'm sure you've heard that we're all friends, we're all team members, we're all approachable, so we can talk to each other anytime we like. We're all Charlies and Pallies. But don't allow your productivity to dwindle because you are putting your mouth in every gist around you. Or allow people to carry stories to come and meet you every minute, that when the day ends, you're asking yourself, what have I really done today? That's how many people are. Every time the phone pings, bam, they must check. If the phone rings, they must speak. It's not all calls you can answer. You must answer, ladies and gentlemen. It's not all calls you must answer. In fact, early in the days of GSM, when I will come out of the shower with soap in my eyes to answer a phone, after a few years, I told myself, start missing some calls and call back the important ones. And when I started practicing that, I now realized that I had more power, more time, improve my productivity. Besides, some things will come to you on a call that you don't have answer for. You may give a wrong answer. You may commit yourself poorly without checking your calendar and knowing what you have on your table, just because you answered in a hurry. If you think well and call back, you may be able to, give a proper answer and schedule properly and say, this is how I can fit this in, so that your word and your bound can be the same. Multitasking. Oh, we can do many things at the same time. There's no chance that you can do many things at the same time and do all of them well. So let's not kid ourselves. Okay. I have seen myself before writing and pretending to be listening to what somebody is saying. And then while I was writing, I was responding to the person. And by the time I finished, I looked at my writing. Half of what we have been talking about has entered into what I was writing. It wasn't the same subject. So we are mono-channel by design. Learn to focus at a time. Instead, break it up. What's your attitude and work ethic? Are you the pessimistic, it can't be done kind of person? Or are you the can do? Positive attitude serves you well when you face challenges or setbacks. It brings resilience. Coupled with a positive attitude, a strong work ethic helps you build strong relationships with teammates and superiors. Many people that are stressed up in their work today, that are becoming depressed because of pressures on them, is because of a poor work attitude, work ethic, and poor attitude. They are pessimistic. They are not cooperative. They see challenges and they freeze. And therefore, they are not resilient. Ask yourself what you are working for. What are your group goals as a team? What are your own personal goals? Because if you don't have a reason, it starts from that any work day, I will work, to anywhere you send me to, I will do. Anything you give me to do, I will do. So, I just get my salary, I spend at the end of the month, I don't have any plans. I was asking somebody just a few days ago. So you've been in this job for 2-3 years. What's your next move? No next move. I'll just be working. As far as the work is there, thank God. You see why people stay stuck. No plan, no idea, no focus. If you care for others, you also need to care for yourself. And caring for ourselves can equate caring for others. We are all interconnected. It's called system. Don't think that somebody in your team can be failing and you are succeeding. No, it's a myth. There's enough space at the top for everybody to get to that top and still be happy. Don't have the competitive crab mentality where if somebody is pulled down, there's some toxic environment, there's a work environment that you just see you feel the toxicity in the air. Somebody excels, wins, makes a major achievement, he cannot even announce it because the envy will choke him. adaptability and flexibility, two of the most important skills you can have. Some people mistakenly think that the ability to change according to the needs of the situation or willingness to compromise, show weakness, or a lack of conviction. The world as it is now is changing. The world that you were in yesterday is not the world you are in today. So just by standing still or by doing the same thing the same way, you are actually moving backward because you are on a moving platform. If you stay on a moving platform and you just step up and down on that platform and you are not stepping forward on that platform, you are actually staying backwards. Because what's going to happen is that everyone else moves ahead of you. There are some people that are not adaptable, they are not flexible. The slightest change that comes to their industry, they'll find themselves out. And to make this worse, I see some young people, they'll be in a job for 3 to 5 years, and that job will end, and they will struggle to find another job. When you ask what has happened in that first 3 to 5 years, there was no improvement in their career, in their horizon. There's no improvement in their academics. There's no improvement in their skills. They did it ABC from day 1 to 5 years. And then you are 28 or 30. You lose a job. You start looking for work. The experience is not useful because the entire 5-10 years of experience has turned to 1 year useless experience because you did not grow. And some are stuck in the good old ways. You get some people, they're in their 40s and 50s, and you ask them what they do, they'll mention their profession, you ask them how they do it, they'll be mentioning things that things have moved on. Don't be stuck in how we've always done it. There must be better ways to do things, and better ways are evolving every day. Self-confidence is a key skill that you must have. Single greatest thing you can do for your own success to build and learn to show self-confidence. It's not egotistic or acting like you're better than others, rudeness or pride, that's not what we're talking about. It's the belief that you know what you do and how to do it. Self-confidence can only follow you actually knowing what you do and how to do it. People that are self-confident are not afraid to be wrong. They are very experimental. They listen more than they speak, and they acknowledge their own mistakes. You begin to have more count of, positive things than negative things. Okay? So be self-confident, start this practice. Dress your best. I'm not talking about, when I'm talking about dressing, don't misconstrue it. I don't do designers and overly expensive stuff. Make sure your clothes are not torn. Make sure they're always pressed. Make sure they're always clean and you smell fresh. These 4 things will always make you stand out. So people just say, oh, my job now. My job is, it's an FM. We're always running up and down. Where will I have time to dress? You look rash. You'll be addressed in a very bad way. Practice gratitude. Thank you. You save somebody, and the person is telling you thank you, you're also telling thank you. Be grateful for a criticism. I see that frown on your face. Sometimes somebody tell you, this thing you did not good, it has spoiled again. You guys are not even good at this. You start frowning and start arguing. No. And then spend time with people who build it up. There are certain companies you keep, whether in the workplace or outside the workplace, that are toxic for your progress. People you will tell you want to do this and they'll say, all that money, don't do it now. What will you go and spend that money on? That's a waste of time. I have this one that you are doing for 29,900 naira online. Go and do that one. Or go and take this plot of land. They say you should pay 30K per month so that in 18 months you own a piece of land that you don't even know when you get money to build or whatever it will become any value for you. Instead of building yourself so that you can build wealth, after you have built yourself, you start going in all kinds of distractions. And then build up others. This is very key to your progress and success in the organization. I will not promote you if all that you do, you are the only one that know them. I will leave you there until I'm done with you and I will let you go. If you are impacting others and showing others how to get things done, Then you become my superstar. They will rise at their own pace. You will rise even further and higher. That success does not take anything away from your own. Acknowledge their contributions, even when you are the one building them up. How do you take criticism? Your workplace habits right now, how do you take criticism? Nobody likes it, but you must learn from it. That's the only way you can grow professionally. Every time somebody criticizes you, even when the criticism is with bad intention, I mean, we have all kinds of bad intentions to criticism around us. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Don't be defensive. Listen to it. It's not all criticism you need to accept, but every criticism you must think about it and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? You mean I'm not perfect? Learn to recognize mistakes. There are some of us that are very forceful at resisting that thought that we don't know something. There are some of us that are so self-confident that we will say some things that are wrong in a very confident way, that when they now tell us, that thing you said is fact-checked wrong, I've seen the link on the website that shows that what you are saying is wrong. What are you arguing about? Don't argue. You have goofed. Learn from it. There's no need to be defensive. Don't hold grudges. I hear people say things like, even just a few days ago, somebody called me and said, they put somebody on this position, and this person, they didn't tell me, and I think it's because of what that person was thinking, that person was saying. I don't understand. So you are become an interpreter of people's intentions now, right? You are now taking events of previous months and weeks and years, and you to interpret what is happening now. For goodness sake, who are you doing that to? You bear a grudge, you are the only one hurt by that grudge you have in your heart. Okay? So please be as transparent as possible. It doesn't hurt. If somebody hurts you, don't keep it and start killing yourself. Address it immediately. Not everybody will accept that they've hurt you. Not everybody will accept. People will even argue and defend that it is justified what they have done to you. Fine. If you accept it or you don't accept it, don't bear a grudge. Move on. Your network, they say, determines your net worth. You can be in a job today, and that job, you are doing it in one corner, and you're not meeting people. You're not joining professional associations. You are not joining a training group. You are not mingling in any social or professional environment where they know you. When the chips are down, you're making a huge loss. And whenever you network, don't be a parasite. There are some people that if your phone rings and it's them that is calling you, they want to ask for something, and they will not disappoint you. Call once in a while to just say hello. It's not only you that need all the things you're looking for. The day you now also have, share, let others feel that you also have. And then our lives, you see, these are our bodies and our minds, they work in sync. Your productivity depends on how your mind is alert and how your body is fit. So if you think it is work, you are working by sleeping 2 hours every night. People are dropping dead just because of lack of sleep. Sleep resets the entire body. And then plan and take regular meals and exercise. Exercise. People say, oh, my work is very stressful. I'm always up and about. I trek a lot. That's exercise. No, deliberately do exercise, even if it's for 30 minutes twice a week. Your body will thank you. If you've not gone to hospital for years to be treated for anything, you will thank exercise and good nutrition for that. Set aside a specific time to check email and news. Not every time a pop-up news come up in your Android phone, you need to read it. Set up a system for maintaining your task tracking system. In the morning, perform your task in an organized, routine manner. And I dare say, when you have many tasks to do, take the hardest one. There are some days by 12 o'clock, I'm done for the day's work. I feel so accomplished. I feel so accomplished because I've done the difficult thing that would have held me back. What do I do when you feel like sinking? Take a deep breath, make a list of all the tasks that are outstanding, look at the calendar, identify the 3 most important, and start working on the most critical out of them. Many of us have computers that have become a nightmare to us. They'll send you something. So report. You will just download. You go to your download folder. You will say, oh, you created so-and-so thing. They send you a template to fill your weekly highlights. You just submit it back as weekly highlights. The day they are not asking you to bring the weekly highlight of August 18th. The search not be here. So people will be looking for something inside their computer for 3 days because you've not organized. One, you don't have a naming convention for how you save files and folders. 2, your files are not organized in folders, which are subfolders under more subfolders, so you can know exactly where to drill down to in looking for a particular file. And if you're not consciously renaming files before you save them, somebody named the file, sent to you, you download, you read, you save, without renaming it in a way or checking the name to be sure that you can recollect that file, you can look for it forever. So organize your folders. The training files are a big part of our work today. And then our emails too. All kinds of clutter can come inside your email. You can't read every email that comes your way. Half of it nowadays is junk. Okay. Procrastination is a big problem. I talked about it a bit yesterday, and I want us to pay attention to this. Don't leave for the last what's important for you. I will give some, little tips as well. Delete it, ask for advice, clear deadline, delegate, chop it up, reward, do it now, 15-minute rule, and remove distractions, some tips. Eat that frog. If you have something that is very hard to do, start it. If the first thing you have to do each morning is to eat a live frog, you can go through the day with the satisfaction of knowing that that is probably the worst thing that is going to happen all that day, right? If you have to eat 2 frogs, eat the ugliest one first. And then set goals. Set goals that are positive, personal, possible, and prioritize. If you don't set goals, you're not making any progress. Your goals need to be positive. Focus on achievements. Word your goals as positive phrase statements and be specific. And they also need to be personal, okay? And that's when they become effective. They need to be possible, be honest, assess your talents, and work hard. You also need to prioritize your goals and then try to achieve the most important ones first. So people say, I'm not motivated. I used to hear it all the time, and I wonder, so you have decided you are not motivated and you want to remain not motivated. Motivation is an internal force. There are certain things around us that can help us activate motivation. But if you recognize that you are not motivated and you are waiting for somebody to come and motivate you before you can be motivated, there's a problem. So implementing different methods of motivation, such as remembering peak moments, writing down goals, and gamification will help you stay focused and positive as you walk your way through your goals. And then track your progress. If you set a goal and you are working towards it, please, they will give you your own report card. Don't wait until somebody asks you whether you're making any progress or not. And we also talked about the time matrix, using the urgency and the importance scale to put the things in that you need to do, so you can save time and use your time well. And be conscious of the Pareto rule. 20% of our actions will lead to 80% of our results. The same thing means that 80% of our actions leads to no results, or leads to 20% of our results. So we need to be careful how we use our time. All right, so that's our lesson for today. And thank you for staying on to the end. I'm going to give opportunity for questions now by On the chat, I hope the questions on the chat have been answered. Let's see. Are there any questions? Admin, is there any question from the chat that I need to respond to? Okay, somebody wants NIL to announce that big amount. No, we don't want we want NIL to be safe. I've told all my panelists not to announce anything that has to do with the amount that they are making now, because that's our secret. Eh? Keep that to ourselves.
No, kidnapping is high these days.
It's very high.
It's very high these days. The reason I make money. Eh?
So if you make your little $10, please keep it in one corner. Don't announce it to. All right, so let me see who's coming up. There are at least, let me see how many hands are up. Okay, for the question about whether there is a center on the island for the physical class, we don't have a center on the island now. But if we have a company with staff enough to set up a center on the island, we tried it a few years ago, 2 years ago, it didn't work out. The numbers were abysmal, so that's why we shut it down. So if we have, I know there's a lot of interest from there again. If there's any company that wants us to bring the training to the island or to Abuja or to Port Harcourt or to Benin, we are very much open. But then the numbers have to be right in those locations. So last class, we had one company bring in 15 of their staff, and we're seeing that prospects again in this new class. So if you have 15 staff for the FM diploma, of course, you can command us to bring it anywhere, okay? Who else is there? The next class starts in January. After January, the one after January will start in May, right? So it's January, March and April, and then the exam and all that, and the next class will start in May. If you go to facilitymanagementcourses.com/FMMC, that's the link. Can somebody please drop the link for the FM diploma for all those who are here to register? I want to pick up all the registration that we get from today so that we can lock in the benefits we have thrown out today. So if you look at that web page, you get all that detail. It's starting January and then May, right? The price is also there. The price is also there, 265 for virtual class and 300K for the physical class. Yes, for this particular training that we are running right now, you will all have the link. Please, can somebody drop the link to the certificates cards for people who want to pay the 10K for this training. And mind you, I announced that everybody that gets these certificates today that sign up for the Mastercraft will get their 10K refunded, okay? Automatically, just show us your certificates and then you get your 10K back, all right? That is irrespective of the bonus I have dropped for you today. So it's a bonanza day that I'm giving out today, okay?
Mr. Paul, this promo is too much. So
I have no choice, Anaya. We need to make an impact. Yeah, we need to build our alumni to 5,000 in the next 5 years. That's our goal. Okay.
Noted, boss. Noted.
Great. Because the more the merrier, you know. Yes. Who's there?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, sir. What is the 10K certificate for, sir?
This free training is not applicable to alumni of the FM Mastercraft. It's just for people who are new to FM. Okay,
all right. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, thanks. You're welcome.
Yes.
All right, and then for those of you who are asking about job placements after the FM Mastercraft diploma, yes, we have an internship program. We try to encourage you to open your mind if you don't have experience on your CV right now. To open your mind to work for free or for a token for 6 months so that you can put some experience, because we're going to give you some tools and give you some templates, and give you some projects to implement that you need to go and implement in the new place that you have been assigned to. So that is part of your training. After that, of course, you can name your prize. Yes, Kolawole.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You're welcome.
And good evening, everybody. Okay. My name is Kolawole Opashino. I'm actually happy for joining. I think I joined the class yesterday and I did as well today. Mr. Paul, probably you might not know me in person, but I'm actually somebody, you've been somebody I so much appreciated in the industry. And you're my first, I think, well, my days in IAFAMED, you're my first facilitator for the PFM. So okay. I so much appreciate your input to the industry, and over the years you've actually made impact. But okay, now my question is, I work in a construction firm presently, and I handle their facility management. So I have facility officers that work directly with me, and I want to put them for this training. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there any discount that we can get when I'm thinking like 5 facility managers?
Okay, five, you can all get 20% off of the original fee.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll get back to you on that. I'll discuss with the management and get back to you. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's hear from Constance.
Hello, Mr. Paul.
Good day, Mr. Paul.
Amaka has the mic for now. I'll call your name. Is Amaka there? Okay, Chibueze, Marcus, go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Paul.
Good evening, welcome.
I seriously want to really appreciate you. You know, you've been doing this giving back series for like years now. And it has been so helpful. Most times we just use it as like a refresher course and a time to, you know, recreate the purpose that made us join this profession in the first place. So I must really appreciate you and say thank you. I want to really say thank you. And then I can't mention how many times I've called you offline, asking for one directive or the other. You've truly been a blessing to me, sir.
Thank you.
May God give you more time to keep doing what you do.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much, Chibueze. All right. Thanks, Chibueze. Abdullahi, please go ahead.
I'm talking after.
Okay, Constance, you're ready now. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for this training, which I really appreciate. Now, I sent the training to my colleagues. I think somebody attended yesterday. I missed that of yesterday. Please, I really need that was why I quickly paid for the 10,000.
Yes. You'll get the certificates, you'll get the training slides, you'll get the videos.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
All the classes, yes. Fantastic. Well done. Well done. All right.
I'm also interested in the diploma.
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations. Good choice. You're welcome. You're welcome. Well done. Right. Let's hear from Samuel Ayede.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Paul.
Good evening.
Yes. Actually, I was supposed to speak yesterday, but I wasn't given the mic to speak.
Okay.
But I'm happy I have the floor today. Mm-hmm. My question is this. We hear in some locations, they call people FC, mm-hmm. which is facility coordinator.
Yeah.
In other places, they call them FO, which is facility officers. Mm-hmm. And we also have facility managers. Mm-hmm. That I want to know, are these facility managers, is it different from facility officer and facility coordinator?
Okay.
That's my first question. Then the second is, in most facility officers' job, they always want somebody who has an engineering background, like a certificate. Okay. Most times they request for, you must have an engineering certificate, which some of us don't have. Mm. and it makes us like it's like we are not fit into that area. Then again, the course we did some time ago, especially like this one we are doing now, does it qualify us to seek for an opportunity as a facility officer or facility manager, like this one we're doing right now, which is ending today? So these are the few questions I have.
I have actually had employers call my office to find out if this person is who we are interviewing actually came for training. I said, what certificate did he present? He said it's a certificate for free training. I said, we issued it. And he said, oh, well, thank you. And they employed the person. You know why? There is so much demand that if you were trained at all, you will be given a chance, even if it's free training. Right? So it's basically like that. The industry is that open for people are on jobs they've done for 13 years. They lose the job and they cannot find another one because they've not been trained. So don't please, this is valuable to everybody. And for you to excel and rise to the top and not behave like someone who has learned small thing and feel you are overwise already, take the full program so that you don't end up using this 6 hours training to cover an entire professional body of knowledge. Okay.
Of course.
Now, the other question about engineering being requested, employers are still seeing facility management from the industrial age, where FM was maintenance. Maintenance was done by engineers. Okay, so when you come and tell them that they are now called facility managers, what's still in their head is that people who can turn spanners are facility managers. Yeah. It is ignorance on the part of employers. But again, I don't blame them. The people that are practicing facility management now, because they've not been properly trained, are behaving like technicians. They are all focused on shop floor equipment focus instead of strategy, instead of people management, instead of resource provision and proactive planning, which you cannot get because you are a technical engineer. So when an employer says he wants an engineer, he's obviously looking for a technician, and that's the truth. It just needs someone who will always be reacting to, that is broken again, go and fix it. Go and scope the work, go and get somebody to do it, and so on and so forth, right? So, but that is changing. Employers are becoming more mature. They now know that there are 2 levels. In fact, 3 levels. There's the strategy, the tactical, and the operational level. Technicians and engineers operate at the operational level because they are specialists. This is my area. The facility managers are operating at the tactical and the strategic level because they are generalists and masters. And that's what you all need to become, okay? Your first question again, please.
The first question is facility coordinator.
Oh yeah, the designation. Yes. So this is it. Everybody in the facility management profession is supposed to be called a facility manager, but because organizational structure from company to company has a title or a level called manager, if you are not yet a manager because you're an FM, that's calling facility manager, there'll be a problem. That's why they have additional positions like facility coordinator, facility supervisor, facility officer, just to create a hierarchy, right? Okay. So even in your FM department, if you are the top of the FM, the one is called a facility manager, you won't be calling those under you facility managers as well. You have to give them other designations just to show seniority. So it's just about organizational structure and hierarchy, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, you're welcome. Let me take the last question from Ayola Adeleye.
Hello, Mr. Paul. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Ayola Adeleye.
Yeah.
So I've worked with Trial Property and Facility Management for 3 years now.
Okay.
So, and I've learned a lot from them. But through this free 3 days training, so I try to pinpoint some of the issues and my mistake I've been doing for so long, but I don't know it was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But now this even prompted me want to register for the master practice that is upcoming. Fantastic. So let me just say, okay, I'm Mohammed. Mohammed has been calling me for a while now to register.
Okay.
Let me see, by next week, before next week runs, I promise to make deposit of 100,000.
Fantastic.
And I've also requested my MDs to help me out so that tomorrow we will alone.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And finish it.
Fantastic. Congratulations. And employers are happy for people who want to make progress in their lives and in their careers, okay? They know that you are committed to them because you want to grow in the job, okay? So especially when you want to do it on your own, I just looking for help. They will help you, and please go for it. Congratulations. And thanks, everybody. Our webinar time is used up. We're going to close for now, and the admins and the training departments will reach out to those of us who have expressed interest in the polls and those who have registered for the webinar for all the other processes that will follow. So thank you, and God bless you all. Have a nice evening, and bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. We appreciate it.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
They should direct all questions to training@maximigold.com.
Yes,
please.
yes, yes.
If they have any questions, they should check our website.
Yes. And the website, I hope you drop the website link on the chat.
Yes,
yes,
yes, sir, we did.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sir. I'll pay you a visit very soon.
Sure, you're welcome. All the
Thank
time.
you. Bye, sir. Bye.